Man, I was blown away by our fan support. That was like the guys, the staff. They came back in. I think it was after the first warm up period, and Jerome was like, "Coach, the energy out there is different. It's like an NCAA tournament game, man. It's buzzing." And so I was like, "Okay." And but to go out and I had to take. I didn't want to look like. I didn't want to look. I guess what's the word? It, I was trying not to let everybody see me look up in the rafters and go, crap, there are people up there too, like it was like all around. It was really cool. And like I said, I've, played in T-Mobile before, but we've never had a home court advantage in T-Mobile. And so it's pretty awesome to play in there and have a home court advantage.
Coach, what did you learn about your team, sir?
You always ask that question, like our guys, we got some competitors, right? And they want to win, And I think every day we're getting our care factor is growing. That we care more about winning than we care about individual stats and stuff. And I mean, Desi Seals he played great defense. I don't think he played his best game statistically, but the energy and effort and the contributions that he made out there, like we can't do it without him, right? And David Gasson wasn't really great. He scored 3 points, but he had 11 rebounds, right? And not 11. He had 8 rebounds. That's a season high, right? But his ball screen roll, his rim runs, all the things that he did. Those things are valuable, right? And so I know it was Quan and Keontae up here, but they'll be the first to tell you, like, Keontae gets the wide open 3 in the corner in the first half because David rim ran, right, out of the roll, and was able to hit him for a wide open 3. If he doesn't do that, so everybody is doing their part, and I'm really proud of that. And there are a couple guys, I think, as we go along, if we can get them to just get a little bit more and a little bit more buy-in, right, we can have a deeper rotation than we have right now, and we're going to need it for the Big 12. But I love the dudes. They're fun to coach, and they're fun to watch them compete out there.
What did you do against Walker? You really shut him down. It seemed like you didn't give him a lot of easy looks, especially in the first half.
Yeah, we just tried to, like, when a player like Walker, right, you don't, like, stop him, okay? You try to limit his touches. And, I don't know if y'all watched the Purdue game and the Creighton game, but, man, in the Creighton game, he looked like a man among boys, and he just kept getting touches in areas that he could go make something happen. So our job was to limit his touches, and the less times he touched the ball, the better for us. And then when he touched it, people think of Fred Hoiberg in Nebraska, and they think of three-point shooting, right? But they're really a paint team. And so our thing was keep the ball out the paint. They had more paint points than we did. For a while they were ahead, then we evened it up, and then they took the lead in paint points. But that's they want to live in the paint, both with Walker and Grizel. I don't know if I said his name correctly, number 5. Those guys, they do a great job of getting them in position where they can attack the paint and draw attention and then make plays for people. And so we just made his touches hard and then tried to put him in a crowd and rather than give him space.
You called a timeout when Nebraska cut your guys' lead to about 9 points, and Nathan came out of it and hit that 3 in the corner. Can you talk me through what went through that set?
Yeah, it was exactly the way we drew it up. We said the ball's going to go here, it's going to go there, and then it's going to get to him, and he's going to shoot it. And I should have called a timeout probably, 2 plays earlier rather than allowing them to be on I think it was like a 10-0 run that they were on, and I didn't. And so when we called it, we just settled them down and said, hey, let's just get some ball movement. Let's make the right people tag, and then let's let the open guys shoot the shot. I really didn't want a 3. I was hoping to get a paint touch and a bucket, but that's what was available, and he had he works at it, so he stepped up and drilled the shot.
It was like one of 4 late shot clock situations where you guys succeeded, converted. How do you simulate that in practice?
Well, we try not to panic, right? We do some stuff where it's 10 seconds on the clock, and we work on termination stuff. But it's like with everything that we do, we just try to have poise at the end of the shot clock, because there's always time, and early on, man, our guys 10 seconds to be on the shot clock, and they'd be jacking the ball up in practice, and it's like, dude, do you realize how much we can do with 10 seconds on the clock? And now they're figuring out they can do a lot with 4 seconds on the clock. And I think somebody told me a stat, someone that we're from 12 to 7 seconds on the shot clock, we're like in the top 1% in the country on execution, and that's pretty good. I don't know where the stat came, but they showed it to me. So, but we're pretty good in late shot clock situations.
You guys had 5 dunks in the first half, and we're getting out of transition. I don't get extra points for slamming it like that, but is that a sign of when your offense is humming, when they were able to do that?
Yeah, the energy. I mean, like, they're really a team that doesn't allow paint. That's their defense is built to keep you out the paint. And if we can get to the rim and get dunks, that means, some good things are happening offensively. Either they're out of position or we're causing turnovers. So, and then the crowd gets flying, and those dudes get to flying around, and they have a little more energy, on defense. And so that's when that ball goes through the hole, whether it's dunks or threes, the guys, it just fires them up.
How helpful was it to get some early threes to maybe create a little?
No, yeah, that was big, because I think I don't know this for a fact, but just watching them, they're probably a team that wants you to shoot 30 threes, 35 threes a game, because they don't, for the most part, college kids don't shoot well from three. And but the fact that we were able, I think we were 6 for 15 in the first half, and 2 of them were terrible shots, should have never been taken, right? So we were really 6 for 13 in the first half with shots and so I think that really changed how they were going to guard in the second half, and they spread out some more in the second half. And so
you guys had some turnovers, but a lot of those were from, looks like pushing the ball, maybe throwing it away on an alley-oop. Would you rather have those turnovers where you're trying to make plays that get the crowd going?
I'd rather us not be cute. I think we had 3 or 4 transition turnovers that we were trying to be cute. Marquise hits Keontae. Keontae should go up and finish or get fouled, and he throws it back to Keith. Well, what's Keith going to do with the ball there, right? And then the lob to Desi. Really? So there are some things where I think we feel like we can hit the home run, and instead of just hitting singles. And so that's some growth that has to take place for us.
How good was Keith for you tonight?
Well, it took him a while to get going, so he ended up being really good, But it took him a little bit to get going, and but the other guys stepped up, and then because they stepped up, then it opened some things up for him. But I think the very first possession, or maybe the first or second possession, they didn't close out to anybody on our team except for Key. Right, and so, based on the stats, you'd say, okay, he's shooting 30, then this guy's shooting 40-something%. So he was the only guy they closed out to. Well, when the other guys made some shots, they had to start closing out to them. So now, Key's guy had to be in a rotation, so it opened up some things for him.
How special was Monday with the rebirth?
That was incredible, man. I love the whole concept of it. That it's a celebration of life for him. The guys, Coach Ream and his wife. Coach Ream's wife makes the best desserts, by the way. Whew. And so she made a cake, and they cooked a meal for him, and we got the video. How about Cam's video? I don't know if y'all saw the whole thing, but it'll make you cry, right? And his mom talks on it, and his trainer from Florida talks on it. It was incredible, and Cam in our video department, man, he gets a big thumbs up, because he's been unbelievable with those.
Coach, speaking of energy, should we expect to see more from you in postgame in days and weeks to come? Are you going to dance some more?
Was I dancing?
I'm not sure.
Wabash, cannonball.
Oh, well, just look at the students. They're on Christmas break, right? And that student section was incredible. I mean, how do you not dance for that, right? And our fans, the energy, in that building, it was... Man, it's wonderful. I'm blown away. This is so much fun. I mean, I know at some point in time this thing's got to like level off. That's what they say. But for right now, it's pretty darn good.
How much, you're an incremental improvement kind of coach.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you won at the Cayman Islands, how much better is your team now?
Well, a lot better. Well, a lot better. We're more consistent in our effort, right, from halves to halves, and then we're learning each other better. And defensively, I thought we were pretty good tonight. I mean, we flew around. We made the right guys on their team shoot the ball and took away the guys who wanted to take away, and except for a little stretch there where they made their run, but I don't think that was like that we stopped focusing. I thought there was a couple bad breaks that took place that led to some of that. But yeah, no, we're a lot better. And the great thing is that as a staff, we can look and say, man, we got a lot of room for improvement. And so that gets you excited about getting back in the gym and getting better.
Coach, in your response to Fitz's first question, you talked about how increased buy-in from a few certain guys could help elevate where you guys are trying to get to. Who might those people be, and what kind of skill set can help them or help you guys elevate as a whole?
I'm gonna let you decide who those guys could be. But like, if you're gonna play, you gotta be tough, right? And you gotta be willing to make winning plays, and it starts at practice. And so that's what we're looking for, more guys who are willing to make winning plays, and they bring it every day at practice. And I just tell you, we have 3 guys that are redshirting and 2 walk-ons, and they were our scout team. We got one of the best scout teams in the country. Maybe some people out there got a better one, but they beat us, right? They beat us 34-31, and Taj Manning had better numbers, and I'm not saying he's better than him, but he had better numbers than Walker. And Anthony had better numbers than Vandermill when we did the little scrimmage, how we prepare for a game. And because of their effort and execution in practice, it prepared the other guys to be ready. And that's what I'm talking about, like just everybody willing to do what they can to help us win. And we just need more buy-in to allow our bench to grow.
Was Bebe available tonight, or is he still in the...
No, he practiced, but I didn't think it was fair to him to put him in this situation when he hadn't played a game. So he should get some minutes in the next game.
And what about Ish?
We have to keep growing our buy-in at practice every day in order to grow our bench.
And then for who did play, I mean, kind of talked about it some, but do you think this was the best game from start to finish against a quality opponent?
Yeah, it is. I'm really, like, after the Butler game, I was really looking forward to this game to see how much we've improved. And obviously the crowd helps you, right? Like, being on the road is totally different. But, I mean, they are a good basketball team. And they are well coached, and they're tough, and they're physical, and I just was very proud of how we our approach to this. And I felt like as a staff we grew because we did some things differently than we did for Butler, and I felt like that's paid off.
You got Radford now before stepping into league play. What are you trying to get? Is it basically trying to keep the momentum that you got going?
Well,
here?
Radford is very good. Right, Darius Nichols does an unbelievable job. He was the assistant at Florida that recruited Keontae, and Darius is a big reason why Keontae's at K-State. He co-signed it for us and helped us in the recruiting process. Part of the agreement for him helping us, he kept throwing in there that Keontae could only play 10 minutes a game, 10 minutes in his game. I never signed off on that one, but I'm sure he'll remind me between now and then. But no, they've been playing great. They've been in a bunch of close games against really good teams, and they're going to come in. And so our focus is to make sure that our guys don't go home before we play that game. All right, and so everybody's gonna have Christmas. The difference between Christmas and a Merry Christmas is a win, and so that's what we're gonna be locked in on.
Another rebirth question: just how grateful are you that you got Keontae on this team and that you're able to see him play again?
I'm very thankful that Keontae's getting to play again, and I'm very humbled that him and his family trust our staff to be the staff that he plays for and with, and I'm not his parents, but I know that I understand that every time he steps on that court, that there's a risk factor for every guy, right? Just like every time my kids get in a car, there's a risk factor. But the fact that he was willing to get in the car with us and say, "Look, Coach, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust y'all," and the faith that he has, his own personal faith, that allows him to go out there and play, and he plays with a freedom. And he does it so effortless. Like, it looks effortless. He actually asked for a sub. He's like, "Hey, I need a sub." And before I could sub him out, he hit a 3 from the corner, right? So, like, yeah, but I mean, so, yeah, he's such a terrific kid, though, right? Like, I mean, there are some guys who are really good players, but they ain't fun to be around. Like, this dude, like, his teammates love him. Everybody that comes in contact with him loves him. I mean, he's the kind of young man you want representing your program, your university, your community.